a Wikividi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. International Standard Book Number. The International Standard Book Number is a unique numeric commercial book identifier. Publishers purchase ISBNs from an affiliate of the International ISBN Agency. An ISBN is assigned to each edition and variation of a book. For example, an e-book, a paperback and a hardcover edition of the same book would each have a different ISBN. The ISBN is 13 digits long if assigned on or after the 1st of January 2007, and 10 digits long if assigned before 2007. The method of assigning an ISBN is nation-based and varies from country to country, often depending on how large the publishing industry is within a country. The initial ISBN configuration of recognition was generated in 1967 based upon the 9-digit standard book numbering created in 1966. The 10-digit ISBN format was developed by the International Organization for Standardization, and was published in 1970 as International Standard ISO 2108. Privately published books sometimes appear without an ISBN. The International ISBN Agency sometimes assigns such books ISBNs on its own initiative. Another identifier, the International Standard Serial Number, identifies periodical publications such as magazines. And the International Standard Music Number covers for musical scores. History. The Standard Book Numbering Code is a 9-digit commercial book identifier system created by Gordon Foster, Emeritus Professor of Statistics at Trinity College, Dublin, for the booksellers and stationers W. H. Smith and others in 1965. The ISBN configuration of recognition was generated in 1967 in the United Kingdom by David Whittaker and in 1968 in the US by Emery Colte. The 10-digit ISBN format was developed by the International Organization for Standardization and was published in 1970 as International Standard ISO 2108. The United Kingdom continued to use the 9-digit ISBN code until 1974. ISO has appointed the International ISBN Agency as the registration authority for ISBN worldwide, and the ISBN standard is developed under the control of ISO Technical Committee 46/Subcommittee 9 TC 46/SC9. The ISO online facility only refers back to 1978. An SBN may be converted to an ISBN by prefixing the digit 0. For example, the second edition of Mr. J.G. Reader Returns, published by Hodder in 1965, has 340 indicating the publisher, 01381 their serial number, and 8 being the check digit. This can be converted to. The check digit does not need to be recalculated. Since the 1st of January 2007, ISBNs have contained 13 digits, a format that is compatible with Bookland, European Article Number EN 13s. Overview. An ISBN is assigned to each edition and variation of a book. For example, an e-book, a paperback, and a hardcover edition of the same book would each have a different ISBN. The ISBN is 13 digits long if assigned on or after the 1st of January 2007. And 10 digits long if assigned before 2007. An International Standard Book Number consists of 4 parts or 5 parts. A 13-digit ISBN can be separated into its parts, and when this is done it is customary to separate the parts with hyphens or spaces. Separating the parts of a 10-digit ISBN is also done with either hyphens or spaces. Figuring out how to correctly separate a given ISBN is complicated, because most of the parts do not use a fixed number of digits. How ISBNs are issued. ISBN issuance is country-specific, in that ISBNs are issued by the ISBN registration agency that is responsible for that country or territory regardless of the publication language. The ranges of ISBNs assigned to any particular country are based on the publishing profile of the country concerned, and so the ranges will vary depending on the number of books, and the number, type, and size of publishers that are active. Some ISBN registration agencies are based in national libraries or within ministries of culture and thus may receive direct funding from government to support their services. In other cases, the ISBN registration service is provided by organizations such as bibliographic data providers that are not government funded. In Canada, ISBNs are issued at no cost with the stated purpose of encouraging Canadian culture. In the United Kingdom, United States, and some other countries, where the service is provided by non-government funded organizations, the issuing of ISBNs requires payment of a fee. Australia, ISBNs are issued by the Commercial Library Services Agency Thorpe Boker, and prices range from $42 for a single ISBN to $2,890 for a block of 1,000 ISBNs. Access is immediate when requested via their website. Brazil, National Library of Brazil, a government agency, is responsible for issuing ISBNs, and there is a cost of 16 Brazilian reais. Canada, Library and Archives Canada, a government agency, is responsible for issuing ISBNs, and there is no cost. Works in French are issued an ISBN by the Bibliothèque et Archives Nationales du Québec. Colombia, Comar Colombiana del Libro, a NGO, is responsible for issuing ISBNs. Cost of issuing an ISBN is about $20. Hong Kong, the Books Registration Office, under the Hong Kong Public Libraries, issues ISBNs in Hong Kong. There is no fee. India, the Raja Rammohun Roy National Agency for ISBN, under Department of Higher Education, a constituent of the Ministry of Human Resource Development, is responsible for registration of Indian publishers, authors, universities, institutions, and government departments that are responsible for publishing books. There is no fee associated in getting ISBN in India. Italy, the privately held company Edison SRL, owned by Associazione Italiana Editori, is responsible for issuing ISBNs. The original national prefix 97888 is reserved for publishing companies, starting at €49 for a 10 codes block, while a new prefix 97912 is dedicated to self-publishing authors, at a fixed price of €25 for a single code. Maldives, the National Bureau of Classification is responsible for ISBN registrations for publishers who are publishing in the Maldives. Malta, the National Book Council issues ISBN registrations in Malta. Morocco, the National Library of Morocco is responsible for ISBN registrations for publishing in Morocco and Moroccan-occupied portion of Western Sahara. New Zealand, the National Library of New Zealand is responsible for ISBN registrations for publishers who are publishing in New Zealand. Pakistan, the National Library of Pakistan is responsible for ISBN registrations for Pakistani publishers, authors, universities, institutions, and government departments that are responsible for publishing books. Philippines, the National Library of the Philippines is responsible for ISBN registrations for Philippine publishers, authors, universities, institutions, and government departments that are responsible for publishing books. A fee of $120.00 per title was charged for the issuance of an ISBN. South Africa, the National Library of South Africa is responsible for ISBN issuance for South African publishing institutions and authors. Turkey, in Turkey, the General Directorate of Libraries and Publications, a branch of the Ministry of Culture, is responsible for ISBN registrations. United Kingdom and Republic of Ireland, the privately held company Nielsen Book Services Limited, part of Nielsen Holdings NV, is responsible for issuing ISBNs in blocks of 10, 100 or 1,000. Prices start from £120 for the smallest block on a standard turnaround of 10 days. United States, in the United States, the privately held company R.R. Boker issues ISBNs. There is a charge that varies depending upon the number of ISBNs purchased, with prices starting at $125 for a single number. Access is immediate when requested via their website. Publishers and authors in other countries obtain ISBNs from their respective national ISBN registration agency. A directory of ISBN agencies is available on the International ISBN Agency website. Registration Group Identifier. The registration group identifier is a 1 to 5-digit number that is valid within a single prefix element. Registration group identifiers have primarily been allocated within the 978 prefix element. The single-digit group identifiers within the 978 prefix element are 0 or 1 for English-speaking countries, 2 for French-speaking countries, 3 for German-speaking countries, 4 for Japan, 5 for Russian-speaking countries, and 7 for People's Republic of China. An example 5-digit group identifier is 99,936 for Bhutan. The allocated group IDs are 05, 600 621, 7, 8094, 950 989, 9926, 9989, and 99901, 99976. Books published in rare languages typically have longer group identifiers. Within the 979 prefix element, the registration group identifier 0 is reserved for compatibility with international standard music numbers, but such material is not actually assigned an ISBN. The registration group identifiers within prefix element 979 that have been assigned are 10 for France, 11 for the Republic of Korea, and 12 for Italy. The original 9-digit standard book number had no registration group identifier, but prefixing a 0 to a 9-digit SBN creates a valid 10-digit ISBN. Registrant element. The National ISBN Agency assigns the registrant element and an accompanying series of ISBNs within that registrant element to the publisher. The publisher then allocates one of the ISBNs to each of its books. In most countries, a book publisher is not required by law to assign an ISBN. However, most bookstores only handle ISBN-bearing publications. A listing of more than 900,000 assigned publisher codes is published, and can be ordered in book form. The website of the ISBN agency does not offer any free method of looking up publisher codes. Partial lists have been compiled for the English language groups, Identifier 0 and Identifier 1. Publishers receive blocks of ISBNs, with larger blocks allotted to publishers expecting to need them. A small publisher may receive ISBNs of 1 or more digits for the registration group identifier, several digits for the registrant, and a single digit for the publication element. Once that block of ISBNs is used, the publisher may receive another block of ISBNs with a different registrant element. Consequently, a publisher may have different allotted registrant elements. There also may be more than one registration group identifier used in a country. This might occur once all the registrant elements from a particular registration group have been allocated to publishers. By using variable block lengths, registration agencies are able to customize the allocations of ISBNs that they make to publishers. For example, a large publisher may be given a block of ISBNs where fewer digits are allocated for the registrant element and many digits are allocated for the publication element. Likewise, countries publishing many titles have few allocated digits for the registration group identifier and many for the registrant and publication elements. Here are some sample ISBN 10 codes, illustrating block length variations. Pattern for English language ISBNs. English language registration group elements are 0 and 1. These two registration group elements are divided into registrant elements in a systematic pattern, which allows their length to be determined as follows. Check digits. A check digit is a form of redundancy check used for error detection, the decimal equivalent of a binary check bit. It consists of a single digit computed from the other digits in the number. The method for the 10-digit code is an extension of that for SBNs. The two systems are compatible, and SBN prefixed with 0 will give the same check digit as without the digit is base 11, and can be 09 or X. The system for 13-digit codes is not compatible and will, in general, give a different check digit from the corresponding 10-digit ISBN, and does not provide the same protection against transposition. This is because the 13-digit code was required to be compatible with the EN format, and hence could not contain an X. Brought to you by Wikividi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?